Hey, Alan's joined us. Hey guys, and welcome to EGTV. This is Vibes from the Six. My name is AK, and I'm joined by still one man down, but I'm joined by the incredible panel that we have here. Of course, we have Arsenal fan Mr. Egal. We've got Mr. Alan here. We've got Daps. We've got Hissam. Mojo is still to come. I can hear myself, which I don't like. But how's everyone doing?
Me.
You're good. You're good. I don't know how's everyone doing. Hope everyone's doing well in the chat, man. I don't think I was here for last show. I got a little bit busy, but we're back here. Hope everyone's doing well. We're trying to run a little survey as well, so please let me know where you're watching from in the comments, and don't tell me I'm watching from my yard or from my bed. Don't try and be smart. Do you know what I'm saying? Just let me know where you're watching from. Hope everyone's doing well. We've got our team of the season and award shows today. We're doing everything. Manager of the season. Well, apart from the awards that have already been given out, but I think we'll be doing most of the awards again. But the ones that are statistically based, things like goal of the season or playmaker or things like that, we won't be kind of getting into because they're self-explanatory. And also, if you have time, we'll try and do a team of the season at the end as well. See if we can as quick as possible without fighting and killing each other, compile a team of the season. But Egal, where are we starting? Where are we beginning this?
I'm just going to get started by asking everybody, how's everyone doing with the transfer window and international football? You guys enjoying yourselves, or are you bored?
No, we're not. Fuck the transfer.
I mean, I'm quite good over here with the transfer window, but I am bored. I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to enjoy a couple of weeks off football. I want it back already. I'm finding myself watching games that I would never watch. I mean, I watched both Ukraine games because I wanted Ukraine to go through for Zinchenko, but yeah, I want football back, man. I'd probably watch that happen. I'd probably watch Chelsea right now. That's how bored I am.
Block, Egal, block.
It is no. Let's not even pay that any attention. I can't lie to you. I don't know how you can't be entertained when Messi and Ronaldo are doing what they're doing, man. Do you know what I'm saying? We're very lucky to have both of those players. Ronaldo and Messi both played today. I think how many did Messi score? He scored a stupid amount of goals today.
How are you making this about Ronaldo? I have no idea.
Did he score as many as Alvarez scored the other day?
He scored 5 goals. He scored 5 goals.
Not as many as Alvarez scored the other day.
So yeah, it's been fun, to be honest. The Italy versus
Alvarez. Did Alvarez score today?
No, Alvarez. He scored 6 the other day.
In the Copa Libertadores final, whatever it's called. But yeah, listen, it was
because I thought Messi scored 5 today, if I'm not mistaken.
Is
he delayed?
I think he is delayed. Did you not hear me say that, Hassan?
I actually didn't. My bad.
No, Messi
did how many? Who did Ronaldo score against?
I don't know who he played. Switzerland, that's the one.
Switzerland.
He got 2 goals and an assist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
You had Messi who scored 5 goals today. So as far as football goes, it's not been the most entertaining, but at the same time, it's been fun to watch, man. You know what I'm saying it's not been that bad.
It's funny, we just skipped over how shit England were as well.
Yeah, I don't want to adjust them, man.
You know what? It's been a weird internationals though. Look at it this way: you had Belgium lose to whoever they lost to. You had Croatia lose to Austria. You had France lose to
Ralph Ragnick picking up fucking wins, fucking dickhead waste, man.
Hey, they played beautiful football, bro. You gotta say it how it is.
Bro, Sam, did you see what he was making Arnautovic do, bro? He had Arnautovic doing spins in the middle of the pitch. I was so confused. What the fuck is going on?
Bro, it shows. Manchester United is the problem, man.
There you go. But yeah, just so you guys know what we're going to be doing, the running order, we're going to be talking about, let's just get started with the fun one, flop of the season.
Before we get started on that, I feel like we just need to do this at the beginning of every show now in the summer. It's only right if we do this. Has there been any transfer news that we need to discuss first? Spend 5-10 minutes on it because
we did a whole show Thursday.
I know, but since Thursday, a lot has gone down.
AK, if you're gonna stab me in the back like that,
wallahi, I'm not. Wallahi,
Pulisic.
AK, let me just say one thing.
Sam, my brother, listen to me.
Tuned in. No.
No.
I just did an hour and 6 minute show of me shouting for 1 hour and 6 minutes in a row. My voice is gone, and I hate my life.
Can I just say?
I have had Liverpool fans speak to me today, tell me Pulisic is a good signing. I don't want to talk transfers. I just don't. Let's do team of the season. Let's have fantastic.
First of all,
why is Husam more stressed by?
I'm going to enjoy this summer, man.
Before you go, Mojo, I just want to say, Sam, I watched every single minute of the 1 hour and 6 minutes, and it was incredible to watch. That's not even what I was referring to. Like, obviously, we know that one. We've been addressing it all day. Is there anything else? Because I've not been on Twitter all day, to be honest, for most of the day. Has there been any other
Nothing
updates on
concrete.
Nothing else.
Little progresses here and there for some, but nothing major. So
that's all it is. Yeah. Let's get into our team.
Can I just say one thing though? Before we do, can I just say this, Hussam? I tuned into your stream, bro, and I was there maybe for about 5 minutes. In that 5 minutes, bro, I have never seen someone feel so sorry for Fabinho before. This brother was saying, God forbid, like 1,800 times, bro. He's like, God forbid Fabinho gets a break for 3 games in a row. I was crying, bro. He's looking at that midfield and he said, we're being linked with Christian Pulisic. Have they had the look at our midfield? He was like, I was dying,
guys,
bro.
if you haven't watched it, go to This Is Football. It was actually
oh my
hilarious.
god, you have to check it out,
hilarious.
man. I was crying.
But yeah, go on, Egal.
Hey, the heel turn is in progress, man. I see it.
Mojo, you listen. You witnessed it last summer because you know me before any of these guys. Listen, honestly, in the summer window, it's always Hussam versus Liverpool fans. Honestly, when someone's telling me Pulisic is a good signing, you know what's the worst part? One guy came in today, he's like, Hussam, you know who should we get? Who solves all the problems? Jared Bowen. I blocked him. Honestly.
I knew it.
It's the season for listen. No, but it's the season. It is the season for blocking because Hussam, obviously Friday night we did that show, on your channel, and you mentioned the Edison stuff, Fuck me. Me and Steve woke up to mayhem, absolute mayhem about Edison. Between us, we've probably blocked about 150, 200 people in our inboxes going like it's split city. I feel like a Chelsea fan right now. It's split us down the middle where we're like, we've got all these guys trying to go at Edison and all the city, all like, it seems to be more the old school city, like just saying, calm down. Like, look at everything we've won. Why is this even happening? Like, what is going on?
No, to be fair,
listen, we have a cult in my fan base. Mojo met them last summer. We have a cult called the Top
Reds. I saw it today in the spaces a little bit as well.
Brother, listen, no. It's even worse, bro. These Top Reds, man. Basically, the Top Reds have posters of John Henry in their room. They will just lick his ball sack and agree with every decision he makes. Anything
to their own. Each their own.
You know what they call me. See, this is the thing. This is how illogical they are as human beings. Yeah, this is how just illogical. They say Hussam used to be a Chelsea fan, and then he glory hunted to support Liverpool. This is the part I do not understand. You dumb fuck. Chelsea is more successful than us. If I wanted to hunt glory in this new era, I would have supported Chelsea, not Liverpool. It's so stupid, bro. Honestly, we have a cult fan base. This is why AKC. This is why even you just mentioned transfers, and I got triggered. Can we please just do the team of the season? Honestly, wallahi, I will shout.
Well, nah, flop of the season. I want flop of the season.
Don't shout, man. You've done it for 1 hour already, bro. Don't worry.
Just to let you
My
guys
voice
know,
is gone, man.
just to let you guys know, we're gonna keep it simple, okay? So we're gonna do flop of the season, signing of the season first.
Cheers, Anna.
Right? So the first one's gonna be flop of the season. The way we're gonna do it is all 6 of us are gonna bring up one candidate for flop of the season, not the same as the other person. Once we have 6 candidates, then we're going to pick one from those 6 candidates. So that's how we're going to do it. Okay?
Why can't it be like the other guy? Because there is an obvious answer, to be honest.
You know what? Even if there is an obvious answer, let's just create our nominees and let's get the comment section to help out. Comment section, give us your nominees.
Man said the whole football club.
Can I name 3 nominees?
Yeah.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
No. Let's
gonna go like, AK named him. Then I have no one to say.
Everybody's
I feel like I need to get Squawker up.
Everyone's
right
naming
now.
one. Leave some for the other. Leave some for the other. Okay?
Cool.
And
my one is the easiest, bro. I'm gonna get it on the table now. My one's the easiest. Romelu Lukaku, guys. I'm just gonna say it how it is. We've spent 100 million, and this brother went out of his way, created. We spent 100 million. Don't make me repeat it, AK. You know exactly how much we spent, bro. It's pain. It's actually
how much?
Pain. And the reason.
So did we, to be fair. Okay. So I better be quiet.
Clearly. Hey, I'm out of the loop. But don't worry. I know we're gonna get back to your guy as well. Don't worry about it, innit? Romelu Lukaku. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it not because I think he's a poor player or he's a shit player. I don't think we have done the best business ourselves. I think he doesn't complement what we've been trying to do. And for whatever reason, the club decided to sign this man, to sign Romelu Lukaku. Romelu Lukaku wanted to come back. And now it's been a shit show since December. And in every way, shape, or form, it's created unnecessary drama in our club that I cannot stand. I'd rather worry about how can we improve this football club rather than worry about how do we fit Romelu Lukaku into our plans. So for me, it's a flop of the season. We just have to call it what it is. It's not worked out the way it needed to. It's not created the type of return that I was hoping for. It was supposed to be the return of a king, the return of somebody that was supposed to succeed Didier Drogba, and this brother has turned it into something entirely different. I'm disappointed. I wish it could have been different, but it is what it is. Romelu Lukaku is my flop of the season, man.
Boom. That's your flop of the season.
Bailey.
Okay, Bailey.
For Villa.
I can't lie to you. I still don't know whether Leon Bailey actually signed for them or not.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Honestly, I honestly believe it was a 3-game loan.
I don't know what's going on. He was supposed to be the Grealish replacement, and honestly,
he actually looked all right for the first couple of games. Like I thought there was a player in there, and then he just disappeared from the face of the earth.
You know what? He was like a shitter version of James. Is it James who went to Everton last season and just
James Rodriguez? Yeah,
Rodriguez, who went there. Rodriguez had a bit longer. Maybe he had about 10-game run of looking good and then disappeared. Whereas this season, it's Leon Bailey. Like, honestly, I forgot until someone mentioned him the other day and was like, fucking hell, he came to the Premier League, didn't he? He's my flop of the season because people expected him to do good things. Like, people were saying he actually was better than Villa. He was better than Villa, and he couldn't even make Villa. So,
okay. What about yourself, Alan? Who's your flop of the season?
So obviously the main one that people most would say has gone through Mo, but I'll have to back that up with Grealish. Yeah, he had the odd performance here and there, Grealish, but for 100 million, what they were expecting, he should have done a lot better than what he did. For me, it would have to be him. If you're going for, I'm using the same logic, I would have gone for Lukaku. So the next one down would be Grealish, although he was slightly better than Lukaku. He's nowhere near what Man City were paying for what they expected they would get from him.
I mean, I would disagree with that because I've always stood by the fact that I believe, although they think that he's going to come good on the pitch, I actually have always said that I think he is the first signing that's got a big commercial side behind it. And by the shirt sales and whatever else, I think he's probably done what the board actually expected him to do. But that's just me.
You're telling me there's been a good shirt sales with Jack Grealish? What?
Yeah. He's one of the top shirt sales this season.
Oh, Huss in the comments is coming for the panel.
Hey. Let's just see what happens.
I don't know about that one, man.
Everyone's gonna vote at the end. Who's your flop of the season?
Price tag included has got to be Jack Grealish for me. I think
shocking him for that.
He's definitely the flop of the season. I think with the price tag, he hasn't delivered what's required of him. So yeah.
Is there anybody who wasn't mentioned that you would have put in the on the table also?
Listen, he's just a squad option, but he's so dog shit that he needs to be mentioned. Nuno Tavares is a guy I would have to mention. He's actually, I understand he's a bench player, but he's dog shit. So I'm gonna say his name.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing against that. I somewhat disagree, but you know what? Whatever. AK, what are you saying? Who's your flop of the season? And if you have like 5, you can say them all right now.
But you've just changed from what you started. You said you can't have the same people, and you can only name one. Now all of a sudden you can name however many.
Just mix up rules on the fly.
Exactly, he changes it. That's why I went Grealish. Otherwise would have gone Lukaku.
Do you want every single one of us to say one separately, or like what exactly?
I'll name my one. All right,
okay, there you go. You see, everyone's getting angry.
My one. If I'm being fair, listen, the name I was gonna say was already said. I'll be honest. My first name would have been Romelu Lukaku. Jack Grealish is up there as well. But if I'm naming a name that hasn't been named yet, he probably isn't the flop of the season, but he deserves a mention. Jadon Sancho, I think for what he was expected to what he's delivered, I'm not saying he's been terrible the whole season. I think towards after the halfway point of the season, he picked up a little bit, but what we expected from him and what he delivered isn't all there. So I expected more from him. And just to name a few more as well before these lads get angry. I'd also like to name Marcus Rashford. I'd also like to name Bruno Fernandes. I'd also like to name Harry Maguire. Let's not forget Harry Maguire at the end of last season.
They
was
weren't
getting
signed this season.
no, I'm just naming everyone who's a flop at my football club. At this
I was
point.
just about to say, you're
Supposed to
going to
be
name your whole
season.
team now.
Flop of the flop of the season
He's
doesn't
ready to
necessarily
name the whole
mean
team,
signing.
bro.
No,
What's
it
going
doesn't.
on?
Flop,
Listen,
flop of the season could be anyone.
Yeah,
Flop-
let's
No,
go.
it can't be anyone. I never knew that rule. I thought it was
Flop of the
supposed to be a
season is
transfer
someone
this
who just
season.
got signed. So let me carry on, Hassan. Please
Yeah.
give me 2 seconds.
Oh,
So as I
I
said,
thought we
um,
see the signings.
Harry
as well, but
Maguire,
hey, we move.
Harry Maguire, who was getting world class shout at the end of last season for some reason. Marcus Rashford, who apparently was going to come in and score another
Luke
20
Shaw.
goals this year. Luke Shaw, whose fat ass couldn't get off the table this season. Bruno Fernandes, who's a disgrace to anybody who's ever claimed to be an attacking midfielder. Can I also just add in Ralph Ragnick is there as well because he's a fucking waste man.
Hey,
Varane?
hey,
Also,
come on, man.
Raphael Varane, absolutely shocking. Let's see who else we got.
Can we
Why
just
are
have
you
the Man
naming
United
Ragnick?
ex-sire?
You literally exposed your club.
Hey, this-
One more,
that's what you named
last
them.
one. I promise you, last one. Since we're talking this season, and it did happen this season, can I please? I know this one's probably not going to run, but can we also add Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to the votes as well? Because I want to see how many votes he gets as the absolute flop of the season.
So can we just go for a flop of the season, Man United? Can we just do that? 'Cause
Okay,
you pretty
I'll
much
just-
nailed them.
That's what it sounded like. innit?
I forgot the man who in 2022 attended more mixed martial arts events than Manchester United matches, Edison Cavani as well. The fucking useless fucking cunt. Just because he has nice hair, he thinks he can do whatever he wants.
Okay.
So Man United
His
then.
hair ain't even that nice anymore.
I'm just gonna
this-
say it this way. It comes down to
Used to
two
be
men.
cool 10 years ago.
It comes down to Grealish or Lukaku. In my opinion, based on expectations, based on the fact that he was coming
Alan,
in.
are you doing ASMR or something? Why can we hear you swallowing your drink?
Who?
You don't not hear
Huh?
that? Was it just me? who heard
You,
it?
Alan. Is there any other Alan on stage?
Hey, AK
I didn't hear
listen
my
to
name.
other things, man.
Ignore
Egal,
it,
carry
ignore
on, carry on.
Guys,
We
guys,
move.
Let man swallow.
So Amir said flop of the season Lukaku. Aiden
Pause.
said
Oh my
Bailey's
God.
Wade.
You can tell Alan watches that woman who eats
If
pickles
you're being 100, Bailey's been a bigger flop than both of them.
Oh.
with the headphones.
Daps, how did you not pause Alan there? What's going on? You're the one who normally pauses everyone.
I'm ready. I'm
That
ready
you
to.
should pause Alan. I'm
No,
doing
guys, it's literally
Pause.
17 minutes.
He just said, "Let man swallow in peace," and you let him go.
I mean, I'm busy. I'm busy trying to back my boy
it.
Jack.
Egal, bring us back, Egal.
Go
Bring
on,
us
Egal,
back.
go on.
It's been 17 minutes in the show, and I've already lost the dressing room. All I'm gonna say is, everyone calm
Let
down.
man swallow in peace.
First things
What?
First things first. It comes down to two men. It comes down to Jack Grealish
Pause.
or Romelu Lukaku. So in my opinion, I'm gonna go first. The simple fact that they said Romelu Lukaku was gonna be the final piece to the puzzle for Chelsea, and a lot of people did think he was going to be that guy to help lead the line and fix their attack. He hasn't done that. Even though Jack Grealish has been somewhat of a letdown, they still went on to win the league, and he was crucial in that West Ham game and certain games to help them in that run.
He was
So
indeed.
I'm going to give it to Jack. I'm going to give it to Romelu Lukaku. But what do
Okay,
you guys say?
can I just stop you? Can I just stop you there? Look, I've already said Romelu Lukaku is a flop of the season for me, yeah, and that's just because of the expectations I had as a Chelsea fan. All right, the fact that you're sat here saying that Jack Grealish has contributed to his team and Romelu Lukaku hasn't,
I haven't said that.
to me, no, okay. I need you to reword what you said because the way you made it sound, brother, a minute ago, you made it sound like Jack Grealish has contributed more to his club than Romelu Lukaku has. Romelu Lukaku, I am actually putting him here for what he's created outside of him being on that pitch. Because if he didn't create that pressure on himself, I can tell you wholeheartedly, he would have had more than 15 goals this season, and he would have had better contribution to Chelsea than he currently has. It's because I had a high standard for what I thought he could achieve, and it's the dumbness that he actually executed outside of the pitch. The fact of the matter is, in my opinion, if we're gonna be fair here, let's be fair. It's not about contribution that we're saying this for. It's to do with other things. I'd rather you say it honestly that way.
Okay, Mojo. For me, it's about expectations, and my expectations for Jack Grealish coming from Aston Villa to City, honestly, was not as high as Lukaku coming from Inter, being the main man, one of the best goal scorers in that league, and coming in and not living up to expectations as a goal scorer. Where Jack Grealish, at the end of the day, he's an attacking midfielder. He was never touted for his statistics and everything else. So let's be real.
But even performances-wise, I can tell you that Romelu Lukaku's had better performances than Jack. Let's be honest. I can tell you that
so
for
you're saying
sure.
Are you now taking away Romelu Lukaku as flop of the season and putting in Jack Grealish?
No,
as your
no,
flop
I'm
of the
not trying to. I'm saying worded in a manner that actually makes sense, and it's you can't say Jack Grealish has had a bigger moment or better contribution to his club, bro. He hasn't. That's
season?
simply not true. We're not talking factually here.
I just simply pointed out the fact that he did score one of the goals in that West Ham game near the end of the run, and he did contribute to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm. But Romelu Lukaku contributed to us winning the Club World Cup. I can literally say the thing tat for tat.
He also contributed to your downfall with that whole speech he did as well. To be
fair. I
don't think our season went down the drain because of just a Romelu Lukaku comment.
No, but he contributed.
One second, we know where everyone stands. I know where I stand. I know where Dab stands.
Leon Bailey, I'm still screaming Leon Bailey.
I'm just saying. I just think we're gonna say it.
AK Allen and Hussam. I want to know where you guys stand.
Listen, let me go first while they control themselves. Listen, for me, it still is Jack
For the whole
Grealish.
2 minutes.
It's Jack Grealish still because listen, once
he's
again,
a Liverpool fan.
When it's okay, because I love Chelsea. I absolutely adore Chelsea. Yeah.
I'm gonna do
anyway, as I was saying, I think it's Grealish because always, and I've been consistent. You can ask anyone who's listened to me on Spaces or on YouTube. When it comes to transfers, I always mention price tag. Price tag is a massive thing when it comes to flops because a certain price tag commands a certain level of performance. That's just how it goes. And the fact that Jack Grealish has cost £100 million will always, play a part in this equation for me. And what Mojo said is true. If you have to, if we consider the interviews and stuff, what Dap said is true. If we consider the interviews and stuff, then of course Lukaku's up there. But for me, I'm still putting Grealish in first place, to be honest.
Okay, AK. Grealish?
Yeah. So it's a tough one because Jack Grealish has played a lot of games, but still there's this narrative around him that he's a bit part player in this team. No one at City is a consistent first team starter apart from a select few. And what Mojo's saying makes sense in terms of the argument that you made for Jack Grealish. Then if I was to go based off of that argument alone, Egal, I can tell you Romelu Lukaku just in terms of on the pitch contributions, Lukaku has still contributed more than Grealish has on the pitch. But the key thing that separates it for me is the fact that what I expected from Romelu Lukaku going into, well, not me specifically, but what we expected, as a generalization, what people expected from Lukaku going into the season and where he ended up is so far apart from each other that he has to be the one to go in this team. And by the way, if you are someone who's had Lukaku in your team before and you understand how he plays, you would know that it was never going to work with Chelsea's system. I was so confident going into the season, and I'm not even joking, that I made a bet with someone that he wouldn't score more than 10 league goals unless Chelsea changed from a 3 at the back, because I didn't see how Lukaku would fit into that system to begin with. So it's understandable why he hasn't performed, but at the same time, I can't take away the fact that he hasn't performed. So for me...
Hey, you're lucky, man. He was 2 goals away, bro.
Listen, I take them.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, if I take everything into account, and that's what I'm doing, I'm looking at everything on and off the pitch. Romelu Lukaku for me gets in there.
For me, I'm gonna just basically say like this. So obviously, Lukaku was paid 100 million. They spent 100 million. Lukaku was meant to be the man to fire him to a title. Jack Grealish bought for 100 million was the man who was supposed to obviously get them to a title more comfortably. Man City got to the title because they had players around him. He did contribute, not as much as you'd want him to. Lukaku did contribute, not as much as you wanted him to. If you put it up, weigh it up against each other, the person who failed the most was Lukaku. So that's why Lukaku would be flop of the season for me.
I like Alan. He's a reasonable guy, man.
This one went a little bit longer than I
It's a first.
I'm disappointed. But carry on.
This one went on a little bit longer than I expected. So big up to the people sending in super chat. Aziz King said Lukaku scored 15 goals. How many did Jack Grealish score? I don't know.
Maybe, it's not just about the goals, man. Please.
Okay. We also had another question here. Can you how can we vote for there's a poll out right now. You can vote between the two of them. Also, we had another super chat here. 1 second. Wu-Tang Gambino saying big up all flop of the year is the Belgian Stormzy. That is harsh.
Can I just say one thing, yeah? Look, with Jack Grealish, the key you need to remember is when you join a Pep Guardiola side, what do you think the most important thing that his manager is telling him? What's the most important thing?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
Don't lose the ball. That's what Pep will tell any player in his team. Don't lose the ball. Jack Grealish's ball retention this season has been unbelievable. Now, I agree.
Normally it takes
he hasn't. Yeah, with
integration
Pep as well.
period. Yeah,
with Pep in particular,
guys,
the style
we're
of
gonna
football he
have to
plays.
move
So
on.
you have to remember that, man. He's had a good season. It's not been. Look, if anyone thought he was going to hit the ground and like get more assists than, I don't know, De Bruyne and Salah and whatever, that was never going to happen. Like, he's got to change his game, man. But he's had a good season.
There has always been a year integration period at City, man. You can't
Yeah.
name me more than 2 players who've come in and hit the ground
style of
running
football
first
we
year.
play.
It just doesn't happen. But go on, Egal.
We're gonna have to move on. Just so everyone knows. But big up Doc LFC saying Man City spent over 100 million on Jack Grealish to win the Champions League, not the Premier League.
Oh, is that what we bought him for? Okay. I mean, our owner hasn't said that yet, but cool.
It's okay, man.
Cheers for the super chat.
Just to let everyone know, we're gonna do signing of the season now, but I'm gonna do this differently. Instead of everyone doing their nominees, just tell us who you're gonna vote for, just so it can go a little bit quicker. You guys were right. I did it the long way. Let's do it that way. It's a little bit easier. So I'm gonna go first, right? And
What's it, signing of the year?
Signing of the season. And to be unbiased, I'm not gonna be biased here. I'm gonna be realistic. The signing of the season for me has to go to Kulusevski. The way that he's come in and the fact that he's come in and he's had that big of an impact. I would have given it to Luis Diaz. I would have given it to all these other guys, but I think that Liverpool team was already great, and Luis Diaz did set them a little bit over the top. But Kulusevski got this Tottenham team, and Antonio Conte got these guys firing, and I'm just going to give it to Kulusevski. But
Can anyone watching this clip that at 26 minutes? Egal, unprompted, actually praised a Spurs player without any. Go give it to you, man. Brilliant. Go give it to you. Brilliant.
You could have been humble with it, bro. I saw he is. He's changed, bro.
Anyways, go ahead. What are you saying, Hussam? Because I seen you making a face.
I don't think it's Kulusevski, and I don't think it's Luis Diaz either, to be honest. I don't think it's either of them. I think
Egal, kick him out. Kick him out.
Now let him finish. Let him speak, man.
We're not going to do that. I think the signing of the season, I'm just juggling it in my head a little bit, because I remember we actually did a whole list on this. We were talking about, and you were there, Egal, and we were talking about transfers, and you know, like we actually did the flops of the season, the signings of the season, etc. And we were speaking about this. But I actually think if you're gonna put up a Liverpool guy, it's got to be Konate. Before it's Diaz. I think Konate has probably impacted us more than Diaz, in my opinion. But my signing of the season is a non-top 6 signing, and that's Cucurella. That's my signing of the season. Absolutely incredible for Brighton, and genuinely has put himself in best left back in the league conversations. That does not mean he is the best left back. I'm saying he's in the conversation. If anyone comes up and says Cucurella is the best left back in the league, no one here is gonna go like, "Oh, you're crazy." Like he's very good. So that's my signing of the season.
Cucurella. Mojo, who's yours?
And I'm stuck between 2 players, I'll be honest. But I'm just going to go with my gut. I think Martin Odegaard is the person I'm going to go for. And I have been.
Was that this season? Oh, it probably was. It was a loan before.
For me, this season, I'm going to say that because I do think for the price tag that he came with and the impact he's had on this Arsenal team, I've been particularly very impressed with the performances I've seen out of this kid. And he's someone that in the Premier League on paper should be struggling because he's not the most physical player, but he's showing that the type of player he is not a player. It's not the type of players that are a dying breed in the Premier League. And if you guys remember, number 10s were being spoken about as players that just no longer literally are fit for purpose in this modern day and age. I think Martin Odegaard is pretty much the hybrid that you're looking for in what a number 10 is required to be from a creativity standpoint of view, from a build-up stand-up point of view. And it's not even about stats for me in terms of goal scoring, but it's just how he makes the team tick. And I do think he's an actual wonderful player to watch. Arsenal have had a steal here. I don't know how they managed to convince Real Madrid for that little, but I do think it's a massive one going forward in the future for Arsenal. The question is, can they keep him?
Boom. Alan, what about you?
So I'd like to say Hussam brought up a good point with Cucurella. I want him at Spurs. I think he's a great player. But I'm shamelessly going to back Egal for a first time ever. I mean, let me just say, Kulusevski came in his first start for us was mid-Feb, and he's pretty much, statistic-wise, outperformed most people who have been there all season in his position, or close to. Also, you're looking at the fact that people said, it's just a Kane and Son team. No one else can fit into that front three because obviously Bergwijn's tried, Lucas Moura's tried all that, and Kulusevski effortlessly has done it. Also, he's come in from a dead player coming from Juventus. No, it's not Bruno Kendall. I'm sorry.
No, there's a better one from Kendall. There's a better one, the Mike Dean one.
Mike Dean. But yeah, so he's coming. He's fitting effortlessly. People saying he was a dead sign and he was absolutely awful and all that, and he's gone and basically turned it all on its head, and he's put in performance after performance. It's not just stats; he's performed as well. So for me, I will have to back Egal on that. For the first time ever, I agree with Egal. You can clip that.
Okay, AK. You're on mute.
First of all, James Milner's apparently signing a new contract at Liverpool. Second of all,
okay, guys, thank you so much. Honestly, it's always been a pleasure coming on.
I just got the notification.
I'm gonna see you guys later, man.
I literally just got the notification.
Where's he gone?
No, he's dead serious. He's gonna go.
Oh my God!
Honestly, I just got.
Kendall, do you want to join us?
Kendall, all the way from Spain.
Oh my God!
What was the thing you just got there, AK? What's the thing you just got? I missed that.
No, I got a notification saying James Milner is imminently signing a new contract at Liverpool. But yeah, listen, signing of the season. I think Kulusevski is a big shout. This one might be a bit. He just said it, man. This Velv guy says everything I'm about to say. Christian Romero, I think, was a very good signing as well.
Odegaard season as well.
That was this in the summer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odegaard, I think, is a very good signing as well. But if I'm being realistic, I'm gonna have to keep it consistent because I've already said my signing of the season for me.
Daps, you couldn't wait to replace me, eh?
I said if
I've been trying all year, bro. I've been trying all year, bro.
Lads, I said if
this is what we're doing now, yeah. One guy stabbing me in the back, the other guy stabbing me as soon as I step back.
You know,
crazy. Two knives. Mojo and Alan, you're up next, yeah. Anyone want to stab me in the back?
Well, you've already stabbed Alan.
I'm just sat here, bro.
I never stabbed Alan. I've always been on Alan's side.
Yo, guys,
I lost on penalties, bro. I have nothing to say.
Go ahead.
No, listen. I was just saying. For me, because I've already said it, I need to keep it consistent. My signing, I said a long time ago, if Tottenham end up getting top 4, Tottenham are winning. What's wrong with me? If Tottenham end up getting top 4,
you prick.
If Tottenham end up getting top 4, for me, the manager of the season is Antonio Conte, and the signing of the season is Kulusevski. The impact he's had on that team since he's come in has been incredible. He's been almost unstoppable at times on that wing. But yeah, I'd have to give it to Kulusevski.
Shout out to Huss very quickly. Huss said about, I forgot, Romero. Don't get me wrong, Romero's been quality, but he was out for about 2 to 3 months. So I can't, because he's been in, the reason why with Kulusevski, he's only been there a short period of time from February to May, but look at the impact he's had on the league, look at the stats, look at the performances.
I think that's the only reason. That's the only reason I'm not giving it to Romero is because he was out for a chunk of the season. And
next season, if he's in for the full season, next season, I think he's going to be in the team. He's that good.
You a lot of names, but I just to confirm.
I said my player of the season is
Jadon Sancho.
Kulusevski because of the impact that he's had at Tottenham since he's come in.
You know what, Dabs? I thought it was going to come down to you. I thought it was going to come down to you, but it's already been decided. It's Kulusevski.
Well, I would have said the only thing against him would have been that he came in January, and for that reason, I probably would have thrown Conor Gallagher in the mix on a loan. But
boom, Conor Gallagher. That's a good one.
That's a good shout. That's a great shout.
That is a perfect segue to our PFA.
But I feel bad for leaving out Cucurella as well, man, because he was doing it the whole season.
Bro, do you know?
Listen, he's got the deal of his life, so don't worry about it.
And I'm saying, don't get it twisted. Like I'm not saying it's easily Kulusevski, but I'm saying Cucurella. I understand the shots, and he has been doing it legit the whole season. He's been on fire, so I understand. But for me, the impact and what Tottenham achieved from that impact would edge it to Kulusevski.
Boom.
Hey, special shout out to Mark Guehi, though. I'm just going to say it now.
Mark Guehi, yeah.
That's not working. Yeah. What?
That is a fantastic shout as well. Big up.
Mark Guehi, yeah.
Super Chat's working, man. It's just when you message too often, because I had to block some of these guys from messaging too often because they always come in and start spamming. So Kulusevski has won signing of the season. Now we're just going to move on to awarding who we think is going to be the PFA Young Player of the Year. And of course, if you guys seen the nominees for some of these awards didn't make sense, but this one actually does make sense. They nominated Phil Foden, Reece James, Conor Gallagher, Jacob Ramsey, Bukayo Saka, and Emil Smith Rowe. I don't think there's anyone else that's under the age of 21 that would have qualified that they could have nominated. The rule is
Foden under the age of 21 either.
No, Foden at the beginning of the year was under the age of 21 and has now become 22 during the season. So he qualifies. So that's Reece James. But yeah,
I'm going to start this one. Can I start this one?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, go on.
Sorry, Alan. I'm going to start this one off, and I'm going to start off by giving it to Reece James because I'm going to be honest with you. First of all, Jacob Ramsey, big up your team, but exit the stage left. Conor Gallagher, big up your team, exit stage left. Emil Smith Rowe, big up your team as well, but exit stage left as well. Which leaves us with 3: Phil Foden, Reece James, and Bukayo Saka. Whichever one of those 3 you vote for, I will not be angry. I understand why people are against Phil Foden getting it.
Yeah, same, bro. Same.
Yeah, I absolutely understand. I understand it, but I feel like because of the I wouldn't even say because of the season he's had, because of what City achieved and what he contributes to that City achievement, I feel like his name, especially in these conversations, will always be held to a standard because he does contribute quite a lot. And I feel like that's why he's there. It's more.
Do you know what? I think.
Achievement.
Yeah, you've made a good point there. He probably has contributed compared to the others equally as much.
Yeah.
But compared to Foden, it's a bit like if Trent had an off season, he probably would contribute as much as most other youngers. But when you get to a certain level, and that's for me, you ask most City fans, they're like, I wouldn't put Foden in it this season, if I'm being honest. But he has contributed. He definitely has. But it hasn't been the same as last year. No,
100%. But for me, I'd still give it to Reece James because considering the fact that Reece James was out for a good chunk of the season this year, and he still managed to. And again, people are going to say the numbers don't matter. We're talking about defenders. We know Reece James is a solid defender. The only thing people held against him, and Hassam, I'm not trying to make this a comparison.
You saw that against Hungary. He's fantastic.
Hassam, Habibi, please. I'm not trying to make it into an argument.
He can't help it. He can't help it.
I'm not trying to make it into a Trent versus Reece James argument. That's not what I'm doing. But just to point out a fact is, the one thing people held against Reece James at the end of last season and beginning of this year was the fact that his output wasn't the level of Trent Alexander-Arnold. And even being out for a part of the season, he still managed to come back, put in solid performances defensively. The first half of the season, while he was there, he was Chelsea's main outlet in terms of creativity, in terms of goal creation. He got injured. We saw what happened to Chelsea. He came back and he still managed to put up good numbers and still be solid defensively as well. So all around, I think he's had a very good season. Insignificant of how Chelsea's season overall went. I think him as a person, he had a good season. So I'd give it to him. But again, I'm not mad at Saka or Foden. Give it to him.
Okay. Let's go to Hussam because he wanted to respond.
Yes, first of all, I hope AK has gotten his Chelsea tattoo by now. I can't wait to see it. I think the guy that I'm gonna give the Young Player of the Year to is
on my chest. It's on my chest, on my heart.
The player that I'm gonna give Young Player of the Year is Conor Gallagher. That's who the Young Player of the Year. 100%. The stuff he's done at Crystal Palace has been phenomenal. I think he's been a great midfielder this season. There's literally, I think I did a team of the season video in December, and people who didn't support Chelsea or Palace were suggesting him for team of the season. That's how much high of a level he was performing. So my Young Player of the season, who actually has been mostly consistent for the most part, is Conor Gallagher. So yeah, I'm going Gallagher.
Okay, just to give you guys an update, Lukaku has been voted flop of the season. 74% voted out of 118 people.
God
and
damn.
guys,
25% no ball.
Anyways, guys, just to let you guys know, get those likes up, guys. How is it 118 people are voting in the poll, but only 54 likes? Come on, you can do better than that. But yeah, Mojo, what are you saying? You're next. I see you, Alan. You're eager. We're gonna get to you very soon.
And
Mojo.
I'll be honest. I think the nominees for this season's Young Player of the season is actually pretty darn good. I don't really have too much of an issue with it. And personally, for me, I wish Reece James was available more. But despite him being available, not being available, his contribution to our Chelsea team has been unreal. I'm not just talking numbers. I'm talking even performances wise. He's been absolutely brilliant player for us, and I look forward to seeing how his progression continues next season. I personally like giving it to players that I feel have been around, at least available, and been a big contribution in terms of presence and availability. And I'm not going to give it to Reece James just for that reason. And because I do think that there's another gear to Reece James that I want to be there for, and I want to be able to say, you know what, there's no one that can talk down on him now. He's been available. He has contributed both in performances and also GA. And he is that guy that everyone has been shouting him out to be, but people may have doubted in the past. When it comes to this, I think there's two players that I want to go between, Conor Gallagher or Saka. I'm going to go with Conor Gallagher just for the reason that I feel like in the Premier League, we're so bad at basically mentioning other players outside of the top six when they deserve their own recognition. Conor Gallagher, this is his first season in the Premier League where he's played for a club that has actually allowed him to express a lot better on the pitch. West Brom, in my opinion, was a very defensive and very negative team. And in comparison, Palace have allowed him to actually show the expressive side of his game and be able to be a guy that can be relied upon that team. And Patrick Vieira has done a remarkable job with that team as well. And Conor Gallagher, in my opinion, has been such a key standout player. And I believe he's won actually their player of the season or their young player of the season. I can't remember which one he did win. And I think he deserves the recognition for what type of loan this has been for him. It's been God sent, and I'm so happy for him. So Conor Gallagher it is for me. But shout out to Saka as well.
I'm just gonna say
back at what's it real quick? Back at Stamford Bridge, Mojo, or another loan spell?
And I think he deserves an opportunity for sure.
Okay.
Opportunity at Chelsea or on loan, you mean?
At Chelsea. I don't think he would be even accepting of a loan move again, man. I think he deserves a shot.
Yeah, he definitely should be playing.
I'd love to sign Gallagher, but it's never gonna happen.
Alan, since you've been eager the whole time, go ahead.
Yeah, so what I was going to say
Alan is about to reciprocate the love that God gave him earlier. Go on, Alan.
No, I'm not.
Alan,
the hell I will. No, I won't do that.
He can't help it. He can't help it.
No. What I was going to say, so I'm trying to be consistent in what I've said about other categories and what I've said on other people's channels. So for me, Smith Rowe, I've questioned why Arsenal left him on a bench most of the time this season. For me, he was one of your better players earlier on in the season. So that's the reason why he doesn't get it. Saka faded towards the end of the season. Reece James has been out injured for 2 minutes, too much of the season. So that's why I don't include him. The person who I give it for, who, although he hasn't got made crazy stats like some of them has, he's been consistent throughout the season for a lesser team who people thought were going to struggle this season. Is because he's one of the main reasons why they haven't. So for me, it's Conor Gallagher.
Ooh, so that's 3 votes for Conor Gallagher.
Once again, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But I wouldn't.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think
it doesn't matter.
Dubs, you're going first next time, Dubs.
No, but you know what? I've been on another show and I was on with Hussam and Alan, and I said Conor Gallagher then as well. It would have been Conor Gallagher.
Oh, for real? Damn.
Joe Rodon, Blake Fernandez. What are you smoking, mate?
Wow, this is criminal. I think it's Bukayo Saka by a long shot. And the fact that you guys are putting Conor Gallagher, I think it's the fact that he plays for Crystal Palace. You're forgetting.
I'd like to change my vote to Conor Gallagher as well, just so it's a clean
You're
sweep.
Forgetting. Okay, that's
shameless. Okay.
That's 5 votes for Conor Gallagher. Just to let you guys know, the same guy you guys are waxing lyrical about, he's doing well at Crystal Palace, but he's only contributed 1 goal or assist since January. So it's like, it's whatever.
Yeah, and I'm aware of that, and that's
please
fine.
Remember that. Please remember that later, Egal, what you just said there.
Wait, I will give Saka, like I said on Hassan's, and I'll say it again, I'll give Saka his due. He's had a great season. He's improved massively. But for me, I think Conor Gallagher has done better for Palace, especially than what Saka has for Arsenal, especially in the last part of the season. That's just an opinion.
You know what? It's whatever. This is a travesty. This is a disgrace, but we're going to keep moving.
Brother said it's a travesty. It's a disgrace. Tell him.
Just before we move on, we had a very generous super chat from my guy Gio. Big up Gio in the house.
Gio.
Gio saying, big up the panel, big up Egal. Dabs, should Sterling come to the Pasta gang? Talking about AC Milan, of course. And he said Arsenal needs to sign Fabian Ruiz. You know what, my guy? I don't think we're going to sign Fabian Ruiz.
I don't see Sterling working out in Italy as well. By the
Blake, if Egal shows us a graph as to why Saka should be there, I will change my Saka.
I think Sterling said, listen, I think Sterling. I think Sterling's playing, and he's going to run down his contract.
Graphs with Egal.
Have
Fair
they seen
enough.
the intro? Have they seen the intro guy yet?
Bro, why
they
did I
have-
think Sterling was
Yeah,
30?
have.
Thursday.
I'm so baffled, man. I thought Sterling was 30. I've seen this guy play for so long. I didn't
It's
realize
because
he was
it's
27,
because
bro.
we've been seeing him for so long, bro. Since he was a youth, he's been about.
It shocked me, bro. I was like, how did I think he was 30?
Well, smash a like if you think Sterling's over 30.
What's our next one, Egal?
Might get some likes.
The next one is going to be player of the season. So this one we're gonna get Dabs to get us started first, and
Yeah,
of course
go
you guys
for it.
can see. Before we get started, there's an absolute travesty. They left a player out. Can you guys figure out who that is?
Son.
Gundogan.
Son.
Not Gundogan. Sorry, what am I talking about? I mean,
Well, they've
Rodri.
lost two.
Rodri.
They've
Not
lost two
a
players.
player,
out.
two players.
They've left
They've
two
left
players, possibly
Rodri out.
three, because you could throw Allison as well. That they've left Allison out.
Oh,
Nah,
guys,
I'm being honest. If I'm being honest, out of this list, Ronaldo got to go, and Mane got to go.
What is Ronaldo doing there? That's what I want to know,
And
man.
enter this list, and actually, to be honest, Kane got to go. Enter this list, Son. Enter this list, Bernardo Silva. Enter this list, Allison. 3 leave, 3 in. Allison,
Definitely.
Bernardo
I put Rodri-
Silva, and
I
Son.
put Rodri over Bernardo Silva all day long.
Yeah, Rodri. I think Rodri deserves
Yeah,
to
but
be
it's
there.
never
was
going to
gonna
happen.
say
That's
Rodri as
the
well.
CDM is
Obviously,
going
I hear you, I hear you, I hear you, I hear you.
Cristiano Ronaldo's there because
When's
he's
the last time
Cristiano
a
Ronaldo.
DM won anything, bro?
Yeah, that's a fair point. It's a very fair point.
Ronaldo's there because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. Harry Kane is there because he's Harry Kane. And I'll be honest with you, I don't think Virgil van Dijk has been player of the year this year.
I was
in
going
my
to say
opinion.
that.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
gonna
think
sound
he's
like
been
hate,
player of
innit?
the year
Yep,
this
I
should
year.
think
be
it's
trends,
the,
yeah.
look, it's the same as the De Bruyne argument that a lot of City fans will say Rodri was the player of the season over De Bruyne. Liverpool fans even debate whether Van Dijk was their best defender this season, like best centre back. So it's all mad this season. It shows that the Premier League have gone with their opinions and not really gone with
It's
what
the names,
Premier League has
man.
gone with the PR, my guy.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they've gone to.
That's it. That's literally it.
These
man.
are the
I mean,
these are the faces they will advertise with next season, isn't it? Like that's what their plan was.
100%.
Yeah,
These
spot
are
on.
the faces of the Premier League. That's it. But on the pitch, it's different. Because
Well,
Bernardo
yeah,
needs
and
to be
one
here.
good looking face on there.
and it covers probably all
Salah?
checks that they're supposed to get.
Yo, how can someone say,
Every quote is probably hit there as
yo,
well.
how can someone say Virgil van Dijk has a lineup, curly hair, a ponytail, and a shape of all in one? It's mad.
Thing is with this as
Oh
well.
my
Remember,
God.
this is player voted as well. So I think I read an article last week that certain players just didn't vote for certain players because they hated them as well
Yeah,
or
yeah.
despised them. And I feel like players, first of all, players are dumb. Let's be honest.
That's
like,
why
in real
KDB
life.
wins it, bro, because his PR is insane. He's such
100%. Players are stupid sometimes. It's not just like they're smart or anything. So I
Let me
feel like
talk. Let me talk. Sorry.
a lot of them probably vote for like who they last watched who was good or something. Like I promise you, because a lot of them don't even watch the sport that
When
much.
is the PFA one voted for? Normally.
Yeah, that must
This
be
is the
soon.
thing, AK. This is what will decide this. According to what I have read, PFA Player of the Year is voted for in February. That's why
Yeah, that's
Harry
bollocks as
Kane
well.
didn't win it last season. So if that is true, and it's there's actual like articles on it that it's voted for in February. If it is voted for in February, then Salah's won this 100%. But if it's voted for, it's not voted for late though. I know they vote for this in February. That's
It's
why
so
Kane
dumb,
didn't
innit?
win
It's
last
so
season.
stupid, man. It's so stupid. Listen, I know you
They
want me to
should
go
just wait till May. It's so
And-
dumb, honestly.
and Egal, I'm
Go on.
speaking based on the 6, yeah?
Yeah.
Are we just going to do it like that? We're going to speak on this 6, yeah? Because I know I have to come here and I have to argue De Bruyne, right? So my argument for De Bruyne is very simple. Pretty much everyone on here, because I think we would probably all agree, De Bruyne, Son, Salah are the 3 out of this list, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, with Son, yes, he's been purple patches. Like he's not been like Salah and De Bruyne, where it's been like you'd probably say, although I will come with the argument, you'd say that Salah was good till January, De Bruyne was good from January till the end of the season. Son was a bit different. He was like, good here, they're good here, they're good here, they're good here. And and Son and Salah obviously have the numbers, the goals. With De Bruyne, he did have games before January. Chelsea away, for example, Man United away, Liverpool away. There are games that you will pick that you had good games. And he also was carrying an injury in that period. But for me, the one reason why I would say De Bruyne is because the business end of the season for me is worth more. If not, then we have to pull Mahrez into the conversation, because till January, Mahrez was firing. Mahrez's goals were mad, right? So we'd have to pull him into the conversation, but we're not, because the business end of the season, when trophies are won, that's where De Bruyne came alive as captain and literally single-handedly in many games dragged us over the line. And for me, that's the reason we're Premier League champions. If you ask any City fan, there's a lot of contributing factors, but the fact is, it is De Bruyne that dragged us over the line. So for me, although I get that Rodri also contributed, I would have voted De Bruyne. I would have voted De Bruyne.
Sam, take it away.
Yes, I think we're all in agreement that this is hands down the toughest league on earth and the strongest league on earth right now. The player who has the most goals and the most assists in the strongest league in the world, by definition, should be the player of the season. The fact that you're a part of a, not even one handful, just a few fingers, of players who have both won the playmaker and the goal scoring award in the same season. I think this is it's just obvious, with all due respect to Kevin De Bruyne, and everyone knows how much I defend Kevin De Bruyne. I argue for him being in the top 5, top 6 of Premier League all-time midfielders against people who call him Kevin De Bruyne. So I always defend De Bruyne, and I rate him very highly. But when I look at this season, I don't think Kevin De Bruyne's even been City's best player. I think Salah has been our best player. Plus, this whole pre-AFCON, post-AFCON stuff. Listen, I've spoken on this before, and I'll speak on it again. Salah went to AFCON mid-January. 2 weeks later, the competition started. He came back late February. So even if you want to say he had bad months, he had a bad April and a bad March. And when he came back, he was good against Leicester, he was good against Leeds, he was good against Norwich, and he was good against United. So we know he hasn't played at his pre-AFCON level 100%. But for me, last season, I said Harry Kane should be the player of the season. And this season, it's the same. It should be Mo Salah. I think when you do something as fantastic as being the playmaker of the year and the Golden Boot winner of the year, I cannot just push that to the side because he had a bad 2 months. So yeah.
Okay, just so you guys know,
That's a fair point.
1 second, just so you guys, everyone knows, nobody has a left shout between Son, Salah, and Kane. Those are the 3. Nobody else is shouting anybody else out, right?
Not
No,
at this
no.
list. There are other people we would have, but not out of this list.
I'd like to make an argument for Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'd like to make an argument for Emerson Royale.
Just before you,
Jack Grealish.
I'm joking. I'm joking. By the way, I'm joking.
Okay, I'm gonna go to my graphics, sorry, the stats. But just before we do that, I'm gonna play the song. Don't worry. Do 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 do
Go on, Egal. Show us a graph.
Graphics with Egal. Let's do this. Anyways, so we got the stats. We got the stats here. No, stop it. Listen, we got the stats here. Anyways, we got the stats here for Son, Salah.
Actually, I got a question for you. How come Sam was the one that got to say, where are the graphs, Egal, and it wasn't one of us?
Because
he actually
that
was live. That was
again,
actually
AK?
live, I think, wasn't it?
he actually
this is Husam's show. Don Husam 6. Blah, blah,
The face
blah.
of the show, yeah, I hear
if
it.
you're watching,
I knew where you were going with this. Wallahi, as soon as you asked it, I knew where you were going with this. Listen, everyone listening, I'm a humble young man. I'm not the face of nothing.
No, wallahi is,
I'm
wallahi
the face
is,
of myself. That's it.
Okay, first of all, he said that on the show. So I literally took the clip directly from the audio from the show and just put it in.
It's created. Controversial.
Sam knows me too much, man. I don't like it.
Anyways, so games played, as you can see, Son and Salah played the most games. Most minutes played was actually Son. Goals scored.
Hold on. On the others, are you doing it across the season, or are you doing per 90?
I'm doing it across this season.
Okay. Cool.
Just Premier League alone. Okay.
Not per 90. Not per 90 though.
Not per 90. If you want me to do per 90, we could do
That's
it.
It's cool. I just wanted context. It's fine.
No, we could do per
Yo,
90.
what's this website called, Egal?
Squawker is sensational.
What's it called? Sorry.
Squawker.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to
Top
you in
tier.
EGTV.
You'll love it.
Next, so you can see here you have the non-penalty goals. Obviously, Son has more non-penalty goals, and then when you look at penalty scored, obviously Salah has taken 5, so that's why he's up there. Assists, Salah actually has the most assists. Chance created, superior. Kevin De Bruyne is way superior to everybody else. At least what is that? Like 12 more, or 13 more.
So blame the lack of
15.
finishing.
15 more, and then pass accuracy is actually Son. I could go into
I
more
think
detail.
Salah has the most big chances created though.
Egal, can you scroll down a little bit? Just scroll down a bit. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. No,
created.
just keep scrolling. Keep scrolling.
Which one?
Keep scrolling down if you can.
To
You
what?
see where it
No,
says?
what are you doing?
Just scroll down a little bit. I just
He
wanna
wants
show you
to add
something. No,
someone
no,
in. He wants to add
No,
someone in.
no. You see where it says Bruno Fernandes and Kevin De Bruyne? Can you just click see comparison real quick? I just want to show you something.
Oh no, this is gonna be.
Just scroll down. Scroll down. That is exactly why stats are the most deceiving thing on the planet, man.
I salute you for that.
Stats are the most deceiving thing on the planet because on this very website, and I've done this before, put it all up. I just want you to show you something. Put it all up.
You can manipulate it however the fuck you want because you can put in whatever stat you want, remove whatever stat you want.
Yeah.
I want you to
change
put
per
the
90.
same stat again. If stats are the most deceiving thing in football, man, you can make any
Sam will
narrative
love
that
this.
you want. You can make any narrative.
I'm not a stats guy.
No,
Allow
Hassan's
me
not a
some
stats
That's
guy.
why you got. That's why you got to
Listen,
include
let
everything.
me just land.
My
You-
goat is
you can
Messi.
make-
I'm not a
real
stats guy.
quick. You can make
You are.
any. Can I just land real quick? Yeah, you can make anything, any argument you want in the world by
Leo,
finding stats, by finding stats that suit you. We're all sitting here, all 6 of us here have watched all 3 of these players. I would hope consistently throughout the season. We're all smart enough to come to a decision without having to look at the numbers because we know what the numbers are. Salah's the top scorer. Salah's the top assister. Son is up there as the top goal scorer, and Kevin De Bruyne is the most creative player out of them. Like we know what the stats or what the numbers should look like. So I just say we go. There's no need to look at the stats. We just go based off of what we know because I feel like that's
for
where
one time in his life, AK is right. So
Okay.
Ooh,
I am just
he
gonna
ruins
say this right now.
Did I ruin the first ever graphs with the goal? No.
Yeah.
It's whatever. It's okay. There's gonna be more. Dabs.
Big up Gio, man.
P&F.
He's putting it on.
Oh damn!
Gio,
flipping heck.
the beginning. Really do appreciate Gio. Dabs need an explanation on why Sterling won't work out in Italy. Him and what's his name?
Leao and
Lord Origi.
Lord Origi would be deadly in attack. What do you think about that?
So I'm going to be 100 here, and anyone that knows me knows I'm a City fan. I predominantly watch City, right? What I know of the Italian league, the Italian league is quite defensive. Now, if it's changed since I used to watch it, someone call me out on it, but it's quite defensive. It's quite tight. It's not like there's not a lot of open space to run into. Now, if someone's going to say, "Oh no, it's changed," and there is a lot of open space.
It's at the moment, the
changed.
Italian league is based off of high lines and spaces in behind. So,
well, in that case, I completely take back what I say. I was going by the Italian league that I know that was pretty tight.
Back in the day, obviously they were known for their defending, but I feel like now it's all
back
high
in the
lines.
day, Sterling would be a right back.
but that's the thing. Like, if the space to run into, then
lot,
It's the only thing is
that's why Lukaku was so good there because he had so much space in behind that he could always run into.
The only thing I would say about this space to run into that people think space to run into is a good thing for Sterling. That's not how Sterling scores most of his goals. When Sterling generally has a lot of space to run into, he overthinks it and doesn't score. Sterling actually scores most of his goals just by knowing to find that
place.
little bit of space by dropping back when there's other players. So look, I don't know the Italian league. It's just Sterling for me.
I can't lie to you. What he said there. Sterling, Leao, and the rest of those AC Milan lads, I think Sterling would benefit a lot out of that, man, because he's very good at Sterling is very, very good at finding that space, finding that space in between the fullback and the centre back and exploiting that space, and that's 100%. The number one threat in Serie A. So if he was and on the other side, if you've got people like Leao, Sterling is still able to do what he does best, which I think is I wouldn't even say poaching, but find the right space.
Yeah,
in
it's
the middle
poaching.
of the box.
Spot on.
Yeah,
the key is everyone's. Everyone is saying at the moment, everyone's saying at the moment that Sterling should stay because since Aguero's gone, Sterling's numbers have dropped, Now with Haaland coming back, that's where Sterling benefits. Sterling needs a striker for the defence to concentrate on, for him to find the pockets of space. I do think he's going to stay and run down his contract, though. So
big up Doc LFC, man, every single time.
Hey, Sterling needs to avoid Allegri, man. Otherwise,
Mings,
he's going to turn into a Quadrado or something, man.
This man said Mings Player of the Year for winning Manchester City the Premier League title, not KDB.
Yeah. Thanks for that, because we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. It was
I'm just gonna say this. I feel like the award is based on the whole entirety of the season, and of course, the player who's performed the most consistent throughout the whole entirety of the season is Mo Salah, even though he dropped off in the second half.
Okay, can I just ask you? Earlier on, you said that Conor Gallagher hadn't really.
There's 3 people here who think it's Mo Salah. Interesting.
No,
okay.
Remember, you said Conor Gallagher hasn't been good since January.
I know 3 people. Me, you, and Egal.
Let me state what I said. On the run of the entirety of the season, Conor Gallagher has not been better than Bukayo Saka. Based on the fact that his expectations were less and he's in a smaller team, you guys think what he's doing at Crystal Palace is spectacular. Now, when you're talking about
hold on. What was the final thing you said on Conor Gallagher? The final point you said on Conor Gallagher.
The final point that I said was he scored 1 goal since January.
Okay, cool. So now we're talking Salah. Carry on.
Okay, what about Salah? Has Salah scored 1 goal since January?
I don't know. You tell me. I don't know.
No, you should have the stats.
I love the way that does that.
No, you pulled out the stats. You're pulling out the stats, so I'm asking you. You knew Conor Gallagher's stats, so I presume you know Mo Salah's stats. Has Salah scored since January? I don't know. He probably has.
Mo Salah has not gone against Saka, man. I love this guy.
I'm just interested.
He's not going
against
people.
Okay. Let me.
Can I go here real quick?
1 second. Since Dabs wants to do this, I will literally get it up because
Hassam can just
pause.
Hassam, how many has he scored in the Premier League since the return?
I think he's gotten 8 goals, 7 assists since January.
Okay,
that's enough then. That's enough.
1 second. Crystal Chelsea game, he scored. Then he scored against Norwich. He scored 2 against Leeds, so that's 4 already. Brighton, he scored. That's 5. He scored 2 versus Manchester United, so that's so that now we're at 7. And then he scored
8.
And then he scored Wolves, so that's 8. He scored 8 goals since the turn of the new year. Let's be honest, on the run of the entire season, some players don't even get 8 goals.
That's what I'm
asking the question.
So that's what I was going to say. I know Salah's dropped off massively since the African Cup of Nations, but before that, he was by far and away the best player in the league. He was unplayable, and he's
best player in the world.
Best player in the world. So his second half performances this season, although it's been less, has still been better than what De Bruyne was for the first part of the season when he wasn't performing. Also, there's been times, like I said in the other stream, Hassam, there was plenty of times where people on a Hassam stream where people were saying that De Bruyne was looking tired and leggy at the end of the season and wasn't playing to his best and all that. So people still criticising, although he put in good performances and helped you get across the line with the title, people still criticising him for poor performances towards the end of the season. So overall, if you balance it over there. Yeah, there were. I've said this on the other stream, and you didn't.
Against
you yourself created against
Real Madrid in the second leg.
No, not against Real Madrid. Like in the league, like I said, if you balance it over the season,
remember?
If you balance it over the season, if you balance it over the season, Salah.
Low block. Why you spamming crosses? Remember?
And my criticism will stay the same. One thing I will do, I will always, wallahi, keep it consistent. This is my thing. Yeah.
Will Hussam and AK agree for the first time on this show?
Mo Salah in the first half of the season was incredible. For the second part of the season, you can say what you want. He got the odd goals here and there, stat padded against Manchester United. He was nowhere near the level of Mo Salah that we knew in terms of even performances, generally putting in those performances. And I don't think anyone can disagree with that. And now here's my thing though. I think people are understating. Maybe I was watching a different Kevin De Bruyne. And again, you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong. But in the first half of the season, when City was going through that little mix-up in the beginning of the season, I do not remember Kevin De Bruyne being as poor as everyone is describing him to be.
Can I step in here?
Not before I land.
That is absolute cap.
I have to.
It's not.
Go ahead.
It's not.
Let me just land it, and then you guys can tell me why I'm wrong.
Certain games, I said there were certain key games that he turned it up.
No, let Dabs go.
No, I'm just saying.
No, you're saying certain games he turned up. AK saying he wasn't that bad. There's a difference between what you're saying.
No, okay. Let me go on, Egal. You go first. Egal.
Bro, I'm just gonna do this again, just because I can. Graphics with Egal.
Graphics with Egal. Let's go.
Okay, so this is Kevin De Bruyne's games played. Game week 1, 11 minutes played. First 4 game weeks, barely because of injuries and being benched. Game week 5, only played 5 minutes. Then came back, had 2 good performances versus Liverpool, Burnley. Didn't do anything.
Hold on.
Wait. Because this is what I don't like. This is what I don't like. Against Chelsea, Mojo will tell you he was good in that game. Against Liverpool, he was good in that game. Against Burnley, he was good in that game. Against Brighton, you can see he played the last couple minutes.
You want to do this for Mo Salah? I'm ready.
But again, I'm telling you, against United,
Man United,
he was very good. He was incredible. Then obviously the corona kicked.
Crazy how you called Salah stat padding against United, but when De Bruyne is incredible.
Because it wasn't no. Again, I don't know. Egal. Hold time, because this is gonna bother me.
I caught him out there, you know.
This is what's gonna bother me. It wasn't. Listen, you can call. Obviously, I'm gonna say whatever I want.
Stat padding means goals and assists. He's
my point is Mohamed. He didn't get a goal or an assist against Manchester United that game. But if you remember that game, he made us look like absolute school kids in the middle of that pitch with the shit that he was doing. My point is, Egal. And I think this proves my point.
A week before that, what happened?
I don't remember what happened a week before that. Well, Palace apparently happened, but that's
you absolutely know what happened the week before that City game.
Oh, Mohamed Salah, absolutely, and that's why I'm not taking.
First player to score a hat trick at Old Trafford since bald Ronaldo. Crazy.
You know what?
Let me just point out one thing. The Mo Salah run that you guys are discussing. When it comes to 90-minute performances, Mo Salah in that run of games where he only scored 8 goals, he's played more minutes. He's had more games where his team won by larger margins. And if you actually look at it, Kevin De Bruyne played less minutes in those times. And of course, because he's played less minutes, you're going to say, you know what, he hasn't had a big impact. Let's be honest. In comparison to Mo Salah, he's been nonstop playing. Are you saying because he's playing those games and he's not scoring? That's why we're
I mean, they're different players for starters, so it's very difficult to compare goals and assists because they are different players.
But look, up until game week 17, Kevin De Bruyne only had 4 90-minute performances.
That's what I'm saying. We have to be real.
Sorry, Chelsea, Liverpool, United.
Let me tell you again. Man United was a 90-minute performance, right?
Hold on. You're saying if you don't play for 90 minutes, you're not going to talk on it?
No, I'm just saying performances.
For player of the year, 4 games in 17.
What, to be brought off because the guy's just come back from injuries and you don't want to overuse
it. Forget about 90 minutes. Played more than
90 minutes. That's worse.
Okay, how about this? Played more than 60 minutes. One second. This is fair, right, guys? We're all football people here. Playing more than 60 minutes is fair. At least play more than 60 minutes.
When you've just come back from injuries, look, if you play 30 minutes, if you play 30 minutes and score 3 goals in 30 minutes, we are now going to go, well, we're not going to...
Just hear my point. Up until game week 17, he played 4 games more than 60 minutes, okay? He had 1 game where he played 59 minutes. So if you want to add that, 5 games. Only 5 games he actually played for the first 17 games where he played more than 60 minutes. That, to me, is my point. If you're going to criticize Mo Salah for the end of his season, Kevin De Bruyne...
You're going to criticize De Bruyne for being brought off to keep him fit?
No, I'm just saying keep the same energy.
No, but it's completely different energy, bro. You're talking about someone's performances and you're talking about someone being substituted. I don't get that comparison. Honestly, I don't get that. If De Bruyne was being pulled off because he was dog shit, I get it. But being pulled off, like when the guys just come back from injury, does seem a bit mad,
if you look back at the thing that Egal showed, you had 90-minute performances mixed in with 30 minutes and stuff like that mixed in. So you can't praise him for the good performances and then say about getting subbed off when it's all mixed in together.
So cool. So we're saying that before game week 17, De Bruyne was predominantly pulled off because he wasn't playing well enough. Is that what we're going with now?
No, this is my point.
I don't get what the point is.
Loads of people saying it.
My point is, Kevin De Bruyne took the first 17 weeks to get fully healthy and get ready. He was basically resting the whole first half of the season. He was not playing. Where Mo Salah, even though he was not performing well on the second half of the season, he was still available, putting in performances here and there.
Availability.
I'm just saying.
Availability is an ability, Dabs. Me and you both.
If you're going to judge it on the whole season,
I don't get it.
If you're going to judge it on the whole season, one man showed up after game week 17. Another man didn't have as good performances on the back end of the season, but still was there.
So we're going with De Bruyne didn't show up till game week 17 is the agenda you're currently
that
going
is
with.
my take.
That's what you just said.
That's
Right,
hold it. That's the Egal's take.
You know,
That's
I
not
don't
my
really
take.
mind. It's, yeah,
like I said, with me, I said Salah, but I said it was Salah just. So I'm not doing De Bruyne disservice. I'm saying
we also
that he
need
was...
to put Son in there as well, because Son is also.
But that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I said with Son has the stats and stuff like that and performances. But with Son, there was, although he scored, what was it, against Man City, first game of the season, he then scored games in both, against both Liverpool, home and away. Just being honest. What I'm saying is that Son, Son done it. Son done it in purple patches.
They got Gambino, man.
Yeah.
You man are so rude cutting off AK like that, man.
I'm going to start saying AK fun.
Honestly,
Son done it in purple patches, so that's why I don't put Son on these two levels. Great season, but I don't put him on their level for that reason.
Okay, AK, you wanted to finish off?
Yeah, I'm voting for Ronaldo.
I was hoping you were going to come in and back with them, to be fair. But...
I really was. Apparently, if you don't agree with what certain men are saying, you can't even get to finish your sentences in here. So, listen, I get you lot really want Mo Salah in that team or in as the player of the season. So I'm not going to really stand in your way. For me, my player of the season is Kevin De Bruyne. If you don't want to hear why, that's up to you lot. But since you lot really don't want to hear it, I'm just going to vote for my GOAT, man. Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, I'm more than happy to hear it. It was Egal that cut you off. I had it at the end.
Same, it was Egal that cut you off, honestly.
I was trying to let him finish, but then he let Dab speak. So I'm like, why is he letting Dab speak and not letting me finish? Anyways, it's whatever. Go ahead.
Go on, Mojo.
Is AK finished?
AK.
No, go on, Mojo. Go on.
Are we not? Are you sure, bro?
Yeah.
Smash your like if you want AK to speak.
This is when Mo decides to go for Kevin De Bruyne. We've got a free draw, for God's sake. I guarantee it.
No, I'm not. I'm really not, bro. I'm gonna stick by my point, and I'm gonna say Heung-min Son, bro. I think this is the problem I have with football. It's great that we can pick Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. I particularly think very highly of both of those individuals. I don't expect them to have drop-offs in their performances or in their contributions to their teams, but at the end of the day, they play in quality enough teams where those contributions can be made up for by the quality of squad that they're actually surrounded by. Heung-min Son, in my opinion, if he does not have the season that he did, Tottenham will not be speaking about top four. There is no top four for Spurs Football Club. And I'm sorry, this is the problem I have with the league, because unless he plays for one of the higher teams, we are never going to appreciate this guy. I think this guy has an eye for a goal. He doesn't get too many chances at taking shots, but when he does, he is clinical as fuck. He's actually more clinical than Mo Salah. Right now, that's how high his stats are, guys. He is more clinical than Mo Salah.
He's actually statistically, since 2017, he's more clinical than Messi.
Statistically, bro, this guy is absolutely nuts, and he's moving under the radar. No one really talks about him because he plays for Spurs and they're not winning trophies, which is a sad state of affairs. But I'm gonna give it to him because I think he deserves to be mentioned in this caliber. Because at the end of the day, if he does not have this season, guess what? Spurs are not in top four. They're not. Alan doesn't get to gloat in your face like he does, Egal. And guess what? We're going to basically miss out on a play like this because we're too busy fighting about Kevin De Bruyne and Salah like we do every season. Fuck that shit, bro. I am giving it to Son. Son deserves it. He's, as much as everyone wants to say he's been stat padding or whatever, I've looked at it throughout the season, both first half and second half of the season. I felt like he's giving you pretty much the same type of level. And in fact, I would say maybe he's slightly even better at the business end of the season, which was very crucial to how his team needed him to be. So for that reason, Son gets it for me. Son is player of the season for me.
Do you know what they're doing now? Alan is going to do what Alan does, hit the shameless button.
I'm going to back that shot.
I'm going Son. I'm going Son.
No, Alan, no, it's too late.
It's Son, bro. I don't care what anybody tells me, bro.
I'm backing Son as well, I'll be honest.
Bro,
people in the comments, if you think it's Son, just write Son.
Smash a like.
Okay. Husam, did you get to speak on this?
Speak on what?
Player of the season, yeah.
Bro, he's been defending Salah.
Yeah, I said
have you not heard it?
Okay, safe. Just so everyone knows, we don't have enough time to do player of the season, so we're not gonna do that.
We just done player of the season.
I mean, not player of the season, team of the season, because that's gonna be.
Okay, sorry, I was gonna say.
that's a whole video on its own. But what we're gonna ask is, what did you guys think about Klopp winning manager of the season? Did you think it should have gone?
I don't agree with it. I
Conte.
don't agree with it.
It's understandable, but I wouldn't personally have given it to him.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen,
My manager of the season is Antonio Conte.
I said early on as well when he first joined, if Antonio Conte manages to turn Tottenham around and give them top 4, he deserves manager of the season.
Mo?
Yeah, I'm going to
100%.
agree with that as well.
Yes, AK.
Conte should be manager of the season. Me and AK and Mojo.
And me.
I don't know about Daps and I don't know about Egal, so I don't want to misquote you. But I remember specifically on Vibes from the Six, when Conte first came in, we said if he gets those bums to top 4, he's manager of the season. And I stick by it to the very second.
Hey,
Conte is the manager of the season for me, 100%.
We have to say this though. We have to say this. Yeah, when it comes to Pep though, winning back-to-back seasons with no striker has its dimension of its own, man. I can't lie. That's shocking.
That easy. This is why it's not that easy.
I'm pissed that this league has done that though.
Do you know what it is? It's kind of become a thing where people, because Manchester City are so efficient at winning the Premier League over the last 8 years or however many years it's been, people are now discrediting City winning the league like it's an easy thing to do. What Pep Guardiola does year in, year out, and the way he runs this league, we have not seen anybody do that. We'd have to go back to what United winning back-to-backs to go back. We'd have to go that far back to find someone to dominate this league the way Pep
There was only one pause. And because he's done it so efficiently, I feel like people love to discredit it. Pep Guardiola winning back-to-back leagues and then having a year off and then coming back to win back-to-back leagues again is an incredible trait, bro. I don't care what anyone says. And this league, however bad the teams in this league may be at times, it's still not an easy league to win. It's near perfection. Liverpool have proved that by getting 90-something points twice and not being able to take the league away from this Pep team. They play absolutely like it's as close to
celebrate that.
It's as close to perfection that we can get to. So I honestly, if Conte didn't do what he did, I would honestly be going for Pep. But because what Conte did is so, in my opinion, was such an incredible job, because the situation that the Tottenham team was in and the players that they had, no one at that point would have said he's getting it. So that's why I believe it's fair for him to have a claim to it. But for me, it's between him and Pep, man.
So
in the comments. Sorry, in the comments, why not Spursy said about no shouts for Mikel Arteta as manager of the month, manager of the year. Fuck no, absolutely not.
So
Mikel Arteta kiss my ass.
You say that like bother me. I don't care. Anyways,
so my opinion on this is that firstly, I get the whole Conte thing because it's very easy. I think me and Sam had this conversation the other day on his channel. It's very easy to just go for Pep or Klopp, right? It's very easy, yeah. And people say, oh no, because that's not proving their ability as a manager. And that will be people's argument, right? So if it wasn't Pep or Klopp, then that means Klopp don't win it. And I'll go with Conte, right? However, by voting Klopp, we're saying, no, it's not that reason. It's not. So therefore, if it's not that reason, and let me be clear as well, this is the Premier League manager of the season. If this was all competitions as an English manager, that's a different ball game. This is Premier League manager of the season. So if you're saying Klopp is allowed to win it, that means Pep is allowed to win it. Pep finished the season top. So for me, it's and also even if we look at Liverpool and Liverpool's performances, some might argue the reason why Liverpool haven't won the league this season is that because they had to, compete in 4 competitions. Well, guess what? That's what City have been doing for the last 5 years, and Pep still won 4 of the last 5.
With a 1.2 billion pound squad.
Is there a show?
There we go. And there we go.
This is the most shameless thing I've ever seen.
Listen, you can say there we go all you want.
Football.
You literally have PFA players of the year on your bench. So you cannot compare the two. On my bench, I have Benamino and Curtis Jones. You're about to get Calvin Phillips and
Bro, go and look at our benches, bro. Go and actually do some research.
Your bench is 10 times better. I don't need to look.
Our bench is
we're gonna be wrapping it
Your
up.
bench is 100% better. I'm not having it.
Hey, go and look at it. Cool. I've told you.
It's a break. The season's ended.
You compete on all fronts with a £1 billion squad.
Whenever you're ready.
Most expensive squad in Premier League history.
Yo, guys, chill. I had to mute you
End
guys.
up in defeat.
I had to mute you guys. AK, chill. Everyone, chill for a second. We're gonna be wrapping up.
Crying in the stands.
Chill, AK, chill, please. Let's just
in the street.
wrap it up. Wrap it up on a good way. Let's just wrap it on a good way.
Salah missed his chances.
Stop it, bro, please.
Victim is Almeida.
Done?
Sterling won the
Hey,
league.
please, bro, chill for a second.
The Scousers won Farcool.
No.
Ale, 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 ale. Ale, ale, ale.
You guys done now? Okay. Finally. I want everyone to tell me their surprise or unsung hero, and then we can wrap it up. Everyone just say one thing that surprised them this season. It could be a player, a team, a performance, a situation, and then we can just move on from there. And we can try to end it, but we can try to end it in the next 10 minutes, if anything.
Christian Eriksen coming back after suffering a cardiac arrest and absolutely balling out in the Premier League. That's my surprise of the season.
That's brilliant.
That is a beautiful story, honestly. Beautiful story. What about you, Hussam?
Come to me last because I have to think a little bit. I actually don't know.
Okay. Anyone have one of theirs? Babs?
I'm gonna say it, man. Palace
You're on
and
mute,
Patrick
Babs, you're on
Vieira.
mute.
Oh, he's not speaking.
He's on mute. I don't think he knows he's on mute.
No, I don't think he was actually going to speak yet. And
Okay,
Palace and
go ahead.
Patrick Vieira. That's for me is the surprise and pleasant surprise. I was hoping for it and I was praying for it, and I'm glad to see it. To be fair.
Okay. What about you, AK?
How's this guy going off camera and we're fucking
He went
wrapping
off
up?
camera and he went to him.
Okay.
I think he has
Somebody
something
else.
to do quickly.
Have you got one yet, Sam?
Yeah,
Have you got
sorry. I
one?
had someone knocking on my door. Mine is, I was going to say the Ericsson one because that was a great one. Also, I'm trying to think. The Newcastle one. People will talk about money. I don't care what you say. Eddie Howe managing to keep the club up, especially after the takeover that they had. That's a good one. And my personal one, you lot won't agree with this. I don't care. Cristiano Ronaldo stepping out onto Old Trafford and bagging the hat-trick against Tottenham was, in my opinion, the greatest thing to ever happen in this league's history, man. Fucking phenomenal.
Kick him out. Fuck off.
Okay.
Love you, AK.
Ask the question again because I need to.
What was your surprise or moment of the season that you're most memorable?
Oh, the surprise of the season was coming back from 2-0 down. Coming back from 2-0 down to win the league. Oh, honestly, I've never felt so low. It was. That's my surprise and that's my moment of the season. Yeah, 100%.
Fair enough. He was there as well for it, so I agree. It's nice. It's a nice choice.
Hussam, you want to go last?
Is this like all competitions or just Prem?
Just Prem.
Because if it was all competitions, I'd say the Madrid comeback against City. But since it's Prem, I'd say
shows how much you hate my team. Fuck me. Your moment is my team.
Can I answer?
Yes,
I would love to answer.
You may. Please.
I'd love to answer. Thank you so much. You don't have to be so angry. You won the Premier League. Why are you angry?
Don't do this whole calm shit, bro, because you know that's.
I am so calm right now. Anyway, my moment
doing
was
that. Calm down and all that bollocks, bro. You know what?
My moment of the season was Mo Salah's goal against Mo Salah's hat trick at Old Trafford. Of course, that's that day, that 5-0. For me personally, it was not even about the hat trick. That whole game, that was just an embarrassment. If you are a Man United fan, you genuinely couldn't speak to me for the next 3 months. The fact that Liverpool fans were singing Ollie's at the wheel at Old Trafford, it had hands down top 5 most embarrassing moments in Prem history. So yeah.
What a Premier League title for Jurgen Klopp.
I'm going to say mine before we go.
He already has
Quick
one.
special shout out. My moment of the season is like as a Spurs thing is the Bergwijn 2 goals within a minute against Leicester to come back, and it was at that point that Egal lost his shit and come up with conspiracy theories about extra time being added on and everything like that with his tinfoil hat. That was just music to
Alan, that could be the actual moment of the season because I think that's the latest ever comeback.
That was the comeback of the season. That was voted the comeback of the season.
My man scored 2 goals in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Egal and Arsenal fans lost it.
It was absolutely.
I know. I was on that stream as well.
I'm not gonna lie, Alan. The fact that you didn't mention that at the beginning, I was so shocked. Like I would have mentioned that in the first.
I mentioned it now. There you go.
There's one moment we're all forgetting, though. There's one moment we're all forgetting. And that is Bruno Guimaraes against Arsenal in the 60-something minute. Absolutely ended top 4 hopes. What a fucking moment that
just
was.
gets so better, so much better.
I love how
Hey,
we
Sam.
disagree on everything except when it comes to Arsenal, man. We're never changing it.
Have you guys
On an
One
Arsenal
club, we
channel.
all
So.
just shake heads. Yep.
have you guys seen Alan's celebration to that game? It's on TikTok. To this day, I just cried.
Wait, have you got it? I still haven't seen it.
I
I haven't seen it either. Play
Let's
it.
see. Let's see.
I was kind of hesitant because I was expecting it to be ruled out for offside.
When
What the hell?
What the hell?
you
Okay.
that moment when Spurs score a 9.
What are you doing?
Hell is
I
going
can't
on?
zoom in.
97th minute winner.
Gonna take you way back.
Fuck me.
That moment when Spurs
Bro, stop
score a
zooming
9.
in. Let us just watch it.
Hey,
That's what it's all about.
honestly, it is, bro.
Can you recreate that moment now, Alan? Recreate it right
Oh
now.
my god.
No, I can't.
Okay, someone said the moment Ronaldo realized he was playing in the Europa League. That's
Oh,
hilarious.
goddamn.
Big up LFC.
Big
My
up Doc
moment,
all
guys.
time, man.
My moment. There's a lot of moments. I could honestly say the North London derby that I went to, it was amazing. When that third goal went in, I was.
Oh,
What
you
about
lost
the one
your
you didn't
voice.
go
I remember
to?
that.
What about the one you
Yeah.
didn't go to?
Then there's Eddie and Ketia dunking on
Did you
Chelsea.
say when the third goal went in?
Yeah.
What?
You
Oh,
celebrated
so-
Tottenham's third goal?
No,
I
it's
went
meaning
to
the first.
I went to
the first
Emirates.
one.
We won 3-1. Remember?
Oh,
early
you
game of
actually
the
still
season,
remember
yeah.
that game. Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Chelsea, we dunking on Chelsea with Eddie and Ketia scoring 2 goals. That was a good moment also.
Still
the
finished
best
below us,
moment-
but hey.
The best moment for Arsenal was that own goal that Lacazette scored against Wolves. It was like a moment that brought the whole fan base together. Everyone started believing again, and then obviously it ended.
Why the
terribly.
fuck do you look like you're reading a script, bro?
But like that was a good moment.
Shout
You
out
got
to
look
Blake
into the
Hernandez in
camera and say
comments.
it again. I dare you.
Yeah,
Look
why
into the
are you
camera,
looking
say
away?
I literally can't.
He's wrote it down. Shout out to Blake. Shout out to Blake Hernandez. Shout out to Blake Hernandez in the comments. My own personal favourite moment of the season, and I think he's nailed it spot on there.
Blake Hernandez, Nottingham Forest promoted. Ooh,
Another
no,
moment for Nottingham
no.
Forest fans. They're not
There's
here to
another
speak
one.
for themselves, but I'll say this. Nottingham Forest fans singing "You'll never win the Champions League" to Arsenal fans. That was a great moment this year as well.
Thank God it was.
That's not the only club they can sing it to, by the way.
Okay.
Blake
Let me
Hernandez.
just-
Champions of Europe.
And you say
They've
that
got
I mean,
17 clubs in the league.
Yo,
They can
guys,
sing it.
let me wrap it up.
And they will sing it to every single club. You know that.
Let me
They will.
wrap
They
it
will.
up.
Champions of Europe.
Wrong comment.
You'll
Wrong
never
comment,
sing
Gal.
that.
Wrong comment.
Spurs, Arsenal, everyone.
Aziz, thank you for the super chat. Wu-Tang Gambino, you're a legend. Thank you for the super chats. Doc LFC, big up to you. Coin toss in the house. I know that's not even super chat, but I just put it up here. Big up to you. Ali, big up to you. Aiden, big up to you. Gio, you are absolute
Massive
legend.
big up,
Gio,
man,
you
yeah.
threw in a couple super chats throughout the show. Big up to you. Doc LFC once again. Wu-Tang Gambino once again. Doc LFC also, and everyone else in the chat, especially the
Gio,
moderator.
thanks to you. We're getting paid tonight, so big up to you, man.
Big up Gio. And you guys have yourselves a wonderful day.
Gio's got 5 fans.
What? Anyways, you guys
Got
have
no grand.
And
No,
also,
Gio's got 5 fans because we're getting paid. Gio.
Big up, Gio.
Oh, to shit out. You've got no friends.
You got no fans.
You got no grand.
Got no
Gal, let
grand.
me know. Let me know if anyone actually hits you up for payment, bro. Let me know if anyone hits you up
There
for
you go.
payment.
and also, Harry Maguire.
Typewriters ready, please. He's going to talk about Harry Maguire now. Hoe vond je hem de laatste tijd? Hij pakt rood tegen Watford.
He's really shit.
You just haven't done that at all.
Man, the button's no chill, you know. Allah, I love it.
Anyways, we're gonna wrap it up here. Big up to everyone. We have the team of the season video coming next week or something else. We're gonna do something
Friday.
anyways and transfer on Friday once again. Also, big up Busam always.
We've got international wrap-ups coming on Thursday as well.
Fuck
Alan,
that.
Alan, right here. You guys go check him
AK is
out.
the face of the show. He decides what we do, by the way.
You already know
Absolutely.
Mojo. Mojo's gonna be on.
I write the
Mojo, are
script.
you still doing the
You don't
Chelsea
follow
thing on the other channel?
No, we've stopped doing
You
it for now,
literally
bro.
got 15K followers. What are you talking about?
AK's got his radio show tomorrow. AK, tell the people where to catch you tomorrow.
Yeah. Listen, you can catch me on Nomad Radio 92.2 FM from 8 to 9 p.m. We're going to be doing some transfer news tomorrow. Also going to be doing a bit of the international roundup, maybe a little cheeky team of the season or flop of the season team XI. Should be fun.
Boom. Dabs, you got anything coming?
Yeah, I've
through the
got
pipeline?
There's a P in there. Daps.
Yeah, there's a lot coming through the pipeline, but for now, it's just never failed this week. Going to have a few shows on, so.
Boom.
And no doubt I'll be doing stuff with probably all of you as well this week.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to say as well. Hussam will decide the date and time because he's the big boss, but also Big Boss.
Yeah. Nice try.
Hopefully this week, Hussam, if he doesn't fuck up, we'll have the Big Boys table on This Is Football, man. Make sure you tune in.
Okay. What about Hussam? Did you have a show today?
Oh boy, did he have a show today?
he had a show and a half, mate. Fucking hell.
Go to This Is Football. All I can say is I woke up and I found out Christian Falk tweeting that Pulisic is linked to Liverpool. And I just went on a mad one on Spaces. And genuinely, listen, it's real emotions because I was genuinely upset. I spoke 14 minutes in a row. And then I had decided to take a sip of water. Then I spoke for 20 minutes in a row again. It's just, I've never been this mad, like on a video ever. So
Yo, can I just
Christian Pulisic?
No, one
he's
second,
red
guys.
and he knows he is.
One second. We just have to play a clip to tell the people where to go watch Hussam's channel.
Oh, have you found a clip?
This is amazing. Go watch his channel. The channel you guys should see right there is This Is Football. I'll send you the link, but this is absolute gold.
I hope you don't get done for this clip.
I just want to say there's 50 people in here already. We're 2 minutes into the video. Everyone watching us, like, this is the player we're linked to. Christian Pulisic is the player that we're linked to. Christian Pulisic. I think this is like something that
you gotta go watch the rest of the video, guys. You gotta go watch the rest of the video.
Wallahi, guys, I'm not even joking. Wallah, I'm not even trying to big up. Wallahi, it was an amazing video. Make sure you go watch it.
I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. Once you're done this, go watch his video. You guys know Hussam. He does not respect the LeBron James of soccer. Yes, we get it, Blake. But yeah, you guys have a good one. Big up to everyone in the chat, and we're gonna catch you guys on the flip side.